Good afternoon. In today's class, I'll do a review of the Unit 3. The reason being, since there are a lot of problems in Unit 3 and we have seen each of them in different classes, but suppose if you get a problem to solve with respect to either permutation or a combination, then you should be able to identify which formula to use in that problem. So for that reason, the important questions of Unit 3, the list over here is the important questions of Unit 3. These are the FAQs. So these are the FAQs, while I'll be solving a few of them over here. So let's begin. The first question is the definitions. You can find the definitions in the Unit 3 notes that I'll be giving later. So let's start with the next question. How many different three-letter initials with none of the letters repeated can people have? So we are speaking about initial letters, and what are the number of initial letters? Three-letter initials. So we will have three-letter initials, and the question is how many different three-letter initials with none of the letters repeated. So in the person's initial, the letter should not be repeated. So for example, if you are taking FYK, so in this case, the letter is not being repeated. It is a valid combination, or it is a valid initial for this question. But suppose if you have SJF, in this case, the letter S is being repeated, so this is not valid. So we have to consider all these kind of initials where the letters are not being repeated. So let's consider the solution for the problem. So for the first letter, we will have totally how many letters do we have in the English language? We have 26 letters. So in the first blank, we can fill it by 26 ways. The next blank can be filled by 25 ways. Why are we writing 25 ways? Suppose if you have filled the first blank with A, then you cannot fill the second blank with A. You have to leave A. The reason being, none of the letters should be repeated. So that is the reason we are saying we can fill the second blank with only 25 letters, and the third blank is filled with 24 letters. Now, what should we do? Should we add these 26 plus 25 plus 24, or should we multiply it, or should we use permutation and combination? So if you remember, in the case of sum rule and product rule, so these are the first two definitions of your elementary combinatorics. That is the basics of counting that we have seen the topic. In that you have two rules, which one is the sum rule, while the other is the product rule. Alright, so in this case, in the sum rule and product rule, we have to consider whether we are supposed to use the sum rule or we are supposed to use the product rule. So in the case of product rule, the definition is, if we have a task, if we have two tasks and there are n1, there is x way to do the task 1 and y way to do the task 2, then there will be x into y ways to do the task. Similarly, for the sum rule, the definition is that, suppose if we have, in the case of sum rule, the definition is, if a task can be done in either x way, either or. So either x way or y way, then, and where none of these x or y ways are, where none of the set of x ways and y ways are same, that is, these are different kind of ways, then we will do x plus y. Okay, now what does this problem have? So in this problem, for choosing the first letter, we have the 26 ways, okay, but for choosing the next letter 25, out of the 26, we are taking the 25 letters, okay. So in this case, we have to use the product rule. So by using the product rule, our solution will be the number of different three-letter initials. Let me just write it over here. So the number of different three-letter initials which people can have is 26 into 25 into 24. What is the condition? None of the letters are repeated. none of the letters are repeated. And for the solution, you can either keep the solution as it is, or you can even solve it with the help of a calculator. Now the next question is, how many different three-letter initials are there that begin with an A? So we have the letter A. So the first letter A is kept as it is, and it can be filled only in one way. The next letter is, now it has not been mentioned about repetition. So we will consider repetition, and we will say that the next two letters will be filled in 26 ways each. So 1 into 26 square. Okay. So if specifically the repetition condition is mentioned with none of the letters repeated, we have to not repeat it. If nothing has been mentioned, we can consider repetition. Okay. So this is the next question. So the solution is 1 into 26 square, or simply 676. Now, what is the next question? Next question is, how many strings of 4 decimal digits have exactly 3 digits that are 9? Okay. Now, what are we considering over here? We want a string of 4 digits in which 3 of the digits should be 9. So, for this solution, let's take the condition as follows. So, in this case, the first 9 we can fill it in one way. Okay, the second 9 is also filled in one way. The third 9 is also filled in one way. And what are the rest of the digits? The rest of the digits are from 0 to 9. So 0 to 9, we will have total 10 possible digits. But since we cannot have a fourth 9, totally only there we will consider only 9 digits. Okay. Why are we considering 9 digits? Because we have to have exactly 3 9. So exactly 3 digits that are 9. So we have, in the fourth position, we have to exclude 9. So there are only 9 digits. Now this is also the product rule. Okay, so there are total 9 ways. But apart from that, suppose if we have the number in this way, 999, and this blank is being filled with any of the 9 numbers, then otherwise we can have a number in this way, 99. The other number is filled in the third position. It can be in the second position, and it can be even in the first position. So totally 9 ways, but we have 4 kind of combinations. So 9 into 4, we will have 36 ways of getting a 4 decimal digit which has exactly 3 digits as 9. So if we want to write the solution in this way, in the form of in your examination, so you'll begin it in this way. There are 10 digits from 0 to 9. First 9, so just place this 4 blanks over here. So first 9 in one way, then second 9, this is also one way, third 9 is also in one way. Now what about the fourth other digit? That is, the fourth position is being filled with some other digit that will be filled in 9 ways. Okay, I have already said the reason why we do not consider all the 10 digits. So 9 ways. Now, how many different kind of positions or combinations did we have? The different kinds of position of placing your this 999 dash 99 this way, and finally, so these are the 4 different ways to place your digit between the exact 3 9s. So after that, you can write that using the product rule, the solution will be 1 into 1 into 1 into 9 into this 4 ways. So totally 36 ways or 36 strings will exist of 4 decimal digits, which will have exactly 3 nines. Now, after that, how many bit strings are there of length 8? So we want to know the bit strings of length 8. How many will be there? So this is very simple actually. So each blank will be filled in two ways. Why are we writing 2? Because we are studying about bit strings. Okay, bit means zeros and ones. So each blank will be filled in two ways. So totally there are 8 blanks, again by using the product rule, 2 power 8 ways. Okay, so the bit strings are there of total length 8. Now how many bit strings of length 10 both begin and end with a 1? So in this case, if you put add 2 more blanks and put 1 at the beginning and end, that is, you can fill it in only one way, then again you will have 2 power 8 ways. This way you can solve the other two problems also, because we have a lot of problems to cover. Now, the next one is how many license plates can be made using either two uppercase English letters followed by 4 digits actually. So, followed by 4 digits, or 2 digits followed by 4 uppercase English letters. So, in this case, we are talking about license plates, and there are two combinations. The first combination is 2 English letters followed by 4 digits. The next combination is 2 digits followed by 4 uppercase. So in this problem, actually we will be using both the sum rule and also the product rule. Okay. Now, for the first case, 2 English letters followed by 4 digits. So I'll just keep it in different colors so that it is understandable. So 2 uppercase English letters, how many uppercase English letters we have? 26. And the other is also 26, and there is nothing mentioned about repetition or no repetition. So we always consider with repetition if there is nothing mentioned. Also, the next is followed by 4 digits. How many digits do we have? We have 10 digits, and we can fill any of the blank in any of the 10 ways. So this will be 26 squared into 10 power 4. I'm using the product rule as I've already used it in the earlier problems. I don't need to explain it in detail. Now the next case is, so this is your first case, 2 uppercase digits followed by 4 digits. The next case is 2 digits followed by 4 uppercase letters. So in this case, we have 2 digits and 4 English uppercase letters. So 2 digits are filled in 10 ways, and these English letters in 26 ways. So 26 power 4 into 10 square. Now these two need to be added. Why? Because these are two entirely different tasks, and the sum rule formula states that if there are n1 ways to do one task and n2 ways to do the other task, and none of the ways of n1 and n2 are similar, then we have to, the different way to perform the task is n1 plus n2. So your solution will be 26 square into 10 power 4 plus 26 power 4 into 10 square. So this is the solution. Now, the next problem is how many ways here, how many ways are there to distribute 12 indistinguishable ball into 6 distinguishable bins? So indistinguishable means similar and distinguishable means different. Okay. Now, in this case, we have to first understand whether we are supposed to use permutations or we are supposed to use combinations. Now, in the case of permutations, it is known as the ordered arrangement. Okay, we are arrange the objects in some order, while combinations is basically only the selection. Now, what are we putting into the bins or the boxes? We are putting 12 similar balls. Now, similar balls, can they be arranged in an order? No, because there won't be any order for the similar balls. So, in the case of combination or selection, order is not important. Alright, so if order is not important, and repetition is allowed, we have NC. If repetition is not allowed, so this scenario is for repetition not allowed. It is given as NCR. While repetition is allowed, it is given as N plus R minus 1 CR. Now there is nothing mentioned about repetition over here, so we always consider which scenario? We consider this one, repetition allowed scenario. So in this case, in the problem given, the order of the ball does not matter since the balls are similar, and therefore we need to use the definition of combination, and 12 elements need to be selected from a set of 6, since we select one box for each ball. So basically your N is 6 and R is 12. We are selecting 12 balls and we are putting it in 6 bins, and repetition is allowed. So repetition is allowed. Now what will be your different ways to put the balls? It will be N plus R minus 1 CR. So in this case we will have 12 plus 6 minus 1 C12. So that is equivalent to 17 C12, and you can solve it as you like. Now the next question is, how many ways are there to distribute 12 distinguishable, that is 12 different objects into 6 different boxes, so that 2 objects are placed in each box. Now the question is 12 objects into 6 boxes, and there are only 2 objects to be placed in each box. What are the different ways? The next question is, how many ways are there to distribute 12 distinguishable objects into 6 distinguishable boxes? Now this can be actually done in 2 ways. The first method is, so we have 12 objects and we are only supposed to select 2 of them to be placed in the first box. So 12C2 into 10C2. So out of the 10 left, we are selecting 2 and placing it in the second box, into 8C2, 6C2, 4C2, and then finally, so this is your first box, second box, box 3, box 4 and box 5, and then finally 2C2 is, which is box 6. Or otherwise you can also use the formula for distinguishable objects. This is when we were doing permutations with indistinguishable objects, that is with and without repetition. After that we studied the formula for distinguishable objects and distinguishable boxes. Okay, now in this case, when we have distinguishable objects placed into distinguishable boxes, then the formula is the number of ways to distribute n objects into k boxes is n factorial by, so how many are we placing? N1 is the number of objects to be placed in the first box, factorial, n2 factorial, and the last box k will have nk objects. So this way we can even do it. So there are total 12 objects, so 12 factorial by, how many should we place it in the first box? We are placing only 2. So 2 factorial, similarly in the second, so we will write 2 6 times. Okay, so this will give us the result 12 factorial by 2 factorial whole power 6. Okay, so this is the result for the next problem. Now the 7th question, how many different strings can be made from the letters in necessity using all the letters, and similarly we have abracadabra using all the letters, etc. Now for this, before we start this topic, I will like to introduce another topic, actually the same topic but with a different name, which is constrained repetitions. Constrained repetitions. Now, what does constrained repetitions mean? So, whenever we are talking about the selections with repetitions and selections with no repetitions and selections with unlimited repetition, suppose we are given a particular selection and suppose there are some n objects and we are supposed to select only with some repetitions. Okay, some repetition. So there is some condition on the repetition, that is referring to a constrained repetition. Okay, so we usually see the case where we have no repetitions at all or where we have repetitions in some scenario. But what about constrained repetitions? So constrained repetitions is basically these kind of problems. The seventh problem is basically an example of constrained repetition. So instead of solving this problem, I'll solve another problem based on which you can solve the seventh problem. So let's see for the seventh problem. So the question, instead of solving the seventh problem, I'm solving the number of permutations on the number of arrangements of the letters. So the number of arrangement of the letter of the word arrangement of letters in the word Tallahassee. Now, what are the number of arrangements of this? So in this case, first and foremost, before seeing this problem, we will see the formula to be used or the theorem that we are using. So whenever we have n permutation, so whenever we have n object permutation with constrained repetitions, so over here if you notice, T is not repeated anywhere else, but A, L and S and E are repeated. T and H are not being repeated. So n permutations with some repetitions and some are not repetitions. So n permutations with constrained repetitions, the formula is given as follows. So we have already solved one of the problems in the lecture series, which is I believe success. So the formula is the same, but here we are writing it in the form of this. P of n is the total number of letters, and Q1, Q2 and Qt are the different kind of objects. Then your formula is given as n factorial by Q1 factorial into Q2 factorial and so on up to Qt factorial. Okay, so this is here permutations with constrained repetition, very important formula. So the different words that you usually get is, one is Tallahassee, the other is given over here Mississippi, abracadabra, and also the most important one is success. Okay, so now for the problem, we'll solve it. Let's keep the formula as it is and let's solve the problem. So how many different alphabets do we have? We have T, A, L, again A is already written, H, A is written, S and E. How many T's do we have? We have one T and A is 4 times, so 4 A's, 2 L's, again we have A, H is only once, S is written is twice and E is also twice. So now, what are the total number of letters? The total number of letters are, so 5 and then 6, so total 11, 11 factorial by, so n is the total number of letters, so we have 11 letters, 11 factorial. So what are the different letters and how many do we have it in numbers? So T is 1, so 1 factorial into 4 factorial into 2 factorial into 1 factorial, 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So whatever the solution that you get, you can write it over here. So this is the solution. Similarly, you can solve for all the three, and very important, even in 5 marks or 2 marks. Now, the next problem is you can do the ninth one. So I'll do an example for the binomial coefficients, and then directly we will move on to your LAQs. So for the binomial coefficient, the theorem is given in this, the problem is given in this way: 3x plus 2y whole power 17, and we need the coefficient of x power 8, y power 9. So let's write the theorem first. X plus y whole power n is equivalent to r is equal to 0 to n NCR x power n minus r y power r. Alright, and now if we wanted to expand it, you will expand it by just replacing x with 3x, y with 2y, and n with 17. But here we just need the coefficient of x power 8 and y power 9. To find the coefficient of x power 8 and y power 9, what is the value of n? So let's just write the values first. N is equal to 17. Our value is given as 9. So our coefficient will be in this way: 17c9 into 3x power 17 minus 9, which gives us the value 8, and 2y power 9. So 17c9 into 3 power 8 into 2 power 9, and then we have x power 8, y power 9. So we want the coefficient of these terms, so we will leave these terms and we'll just mention coefficient of x power 8, y power 9 is 17c9 into 3 power 8 into 2 power 9. So this is the binomial coefficient, and this is known as the binomial theorem. Alright. After that, how many functions, onto functions, this 11th and 12th are directly given as formulas. 13th is based on the principle of inclusion, exclusion, and then we have a few problems on derangements and permutations and combinations again. So let's move on to the LAQs. So these are the LAQs. Suppose that a password for a computer system must have at least 8 but no more than 12 characters, where each character in the password is a lowercase English letter, an uppercase English letter, a digit, or one of the 6 special characters, which are given as follows. Now, how many different passwords are available for this computer system? Now, in this case, we are supposed to find out the different passwords, but now we have at least 8. So minimum length of the password is 8, or it can either be 8 till 12, so not more than 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the length of the password. Apart from that, what are the different ways we can fill each blank? So we can fill each blank by a lowercase English letter. How many lowercase English letters we have? 26. These are the number of lowercase English letters. And what about the uppercase English letters? Again, we have 26 uppercase English letters. And then digits. How many digits do we have? We have 10 digits. These are the number of digits. And then you can have these 6 special characters in the password. So there are 6 special characters. Now, what are the total number of ways we can fill each blank? So 26 plus 26, 52, 68. So we can fill each blank in 68 ways. So if we have an 8-lettered password, we can fill it in 68 power 8 ways. Correct. So this is for when the password is of length 8. Password is of length 8. Now, what if the password is of length 9? When the password is of length 9, again we will have 68 power 9. Okay, why? Because one extra blank will be added and it can again be filled in 68 ways. For 10, the length of password being 10, it can be written in 68 power 10 ways. For the length of password being 11, 68 power 11 plus 68 power 12. So these are the total different passwords available for computer system. Alright. Now after that, how many of these passwords contain at least one occurrence of at least one of the 6 special characters? Okay. So in this case, we want to find how many passwords have at least one special character. We can have minimum one and even all the 6 characters in the password. But for now, we want at least one of the 6 special characters. Now in this case, first we find how many passwords do not have special characters at all. So to find at least one occurrence of special character, what I am trying to do is no characters. We first find this in the following way. So at least one occurrence of special characters can be found by total passwords minus no special characters. So what will happen in this case? If we are removing all the passwords which have no special characters at all from the total passwords, then obviously we will get this value. So if there are no special characters in this case, in these number of passwords, if we remove them from the total passwords, we will get all the passwords which have minimum one special character and maybe more than one also. So we know the total passwords we found. So that was 68 power 8 plus 68 power 9 till 12. Now what are the passwords which don't have any special characters at all? So if the passwords don't have any special characters at all, then we will have only each blank. Suppose if we are taking a password of length 8, each blank can be filled with either 26 uppercase, 26 lower letters and 10 digits. So what will be the total number? 62. So each blank is filled in only 62 ways. So 62 power 8 plus 62 power 9, 10, 11 and 12, 62 power 12. Now these are the passwords which don't have any special characters at all. And whatever the total passwords, they were 68 power 8 plus 68 power 9 plus 68 power 10 plus 68 power 11 plus 68 power 12 minus this entire number should be written. So that is your solution. For any problems which require huge numerical calculations, you don't need to solve it, you can leave it as it is. Now the next question is how many bit strings of length 10? So I've already explained one problem of bit strings in the VSEQ, so I won't be explaining this again. You can try to solve it. The next problem is how many permutations of the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H contain the string ED. Now this is problem can be solved in this way. So our letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now in this case, the first question is how many strings contain, how many permutations of these letters contain the string ED. So we have to consider ED in this way only. So we will keep it as one letter only. We will consider ED as a package together. And what are the rest of the letters left? We have A, B, C, F, G, H. Now this can be arranged only in one way. Okay. So what are the total letters we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the different permutations will be 7 factorial. Okay. Now similarly, you can solve for the string CDE. CD should be considered together and the rest of the letters will be considered separately and you can directly perform permutations on the same. So you can solve the problem easily. We'll move on to the next problem, which is 7 women and 9 men are on the faculty in the mathematics department at a school. How many ways are there to select a committee of 5 members of the department if at least one woman must be on the committee? For this problem, what we will be considering is, first and foremost, we have to find a committee of 5 members with at least one woman. 5 members with at least one woman. The word at least is very, very important. I'll tell you why in a minute. So over here we can have one woman in the committee, or the entire committee can be comprising of all the women. So that we have to find out by the different ways to find the different committees with any number of men and women, with any number of men and women, minus committee with only men. So if we remove the committee with only men from the total committees that are formed with any number of men and women, then we will get the committee of 5 members with at least one woman. Okay. So now for this, let's find the total committee. So how many members we have? We have 7 women and 9 men. So totally we have 9 plus 7, 16 people. Okay, 16 people to do the selection from. Out of the 16 people, what number committee we are forming? We are forming a committee of 5. So committee is formed of 5. So what will be the total different ways to select 5 people from 16 people? So we are performing selection. So we will be using C, 16 C5. That is combination. If we are performing arrangement, we will be using permutation. Very, very important point to remember while you are solving the problems of this unit. So 16C5 is the total number of committees. Okay. Now, what is the number of committees without any woman at all? So only men committee. Okay. Only men committee is, how many men do we have? 7. And how many are we selecting? We are selecting 5. So we will have 7C5. So what will be the number of committees with at least one woman? It will be 16C5 minus 7C5. Similarly, you can do the next one. How many ways are there to select a committee of 5 members of the department if at least one woman and at least one man must be on the committee? So you can try to solve it. Now, apart from that, the next is the row of Pascal's triangle containing the binomial coefficient C of 10, k is given over here. Now use Pascal's identity to produce the row immediately following this row in the Pascal triangle. Now, if you remember, Pascal triangle was basically the binomial coefficients of your binomial theorem. Now to find the Pascal triangle, what was the formula? The formula is as follows. So it is also known as Pascal's identity, that is n plus 1 CR is equal to NCR plus NCR minus 1. Or we can even show it by using this. So I'll take directly this row and try to solve the problem. So we have been given the 10CR row. So this is the 10C0, 10C1 row. So let's write it 1, 10, 45, 120, 210, 252, 210, 120, 45, 10 and 1. Now the next row immediately following will be 11C0 row. So 11C0 and 11C11 will be equivalent to 1. What will be the next numbers? The next two numbers will be, so 11C1 will be equivalent to 11. So 1 plus 10 is 11. Then 11C, this is here 11C1. Next 11C2 is 55. 11C3 will be 45 plus 120, 165, and you can continue in the same way for the entire problem. I'll just write the value. So this is 11C0, while this was 10C0, 11C1, 10C1. So if you notice, 11C1 is equivalent to 10C0 plus 10C1. So this, if this is here n plus 1, then this is given as n, and this is equivalent to r. So n plus 1 CR is equal to NCR plus NCR minus 1. So r minus 1 is 1 minus 1, 0 over here. Okay. So this is here Pascal's identity. Apart from that, determine the number of positive integers that are not divisible by 3, 5, 7, but are divisible by 9. So in this case, you are supposed to use the principle of exclusion, inclusion, exclusion. Similarly, in the next problem also. Now over here, there are 2,504 computer science students at school. 18. I've solved a problem very similar to this in the video lectures, and you can refer to the same. After that, we have the inclusion exclusion problem in the same way, and finally you have how many ways are there to select two cards from a deck of 52 cards. The first card is an ace and the second card is a king, etc. So are there to select two cards? So if you're only selecting two cards, it will be 52C2. But if you are selecting a particular card, then you will have to know the number of cards in a deck of cards. So in a deck of cards, first and foremost, there will be, let me explain the deck of cards problem. So in the deck of cards, totally there will be 52 cards. Out of the 52 cards, you will have 4 categories: hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. So these are hearts, spades, diamond, and clubs. In each of the cards, you will have 0 to 9 numerical cards, and then you will have a ace, jack, king, and queen in the same way. So totally 13 cards in each, and so if you notice, there will be 4 aces, 4 jacks, 4 kings, and 4 queens. Now accordingly you have to solve the problem. Apart from that, we have identified how many positive integers between 100 and 99. So earlier in the earlier problems we did from 1 to 100. So here we have to exclude the first 100 number and do the problem from 199. Then the next is multinomial theorem. This you can do directly. I have given a formula. And the last two problems are theorems or proofs, which will be given in notes and which has already been studied in the earlier classes. So this concludes here unit